I'm not filming outside today because it's too windy. Okay, well that's much better. At least it's not windy in here, and I am excited to share these top 12 things with you that I travel with when I had my senior dogs with me for the first few years on the road. I lost them in 2017, and Bandit's now been with me almost a year and a half. So let's get started. Of course, the basics. The number one thing is a leash and poop bags. Don't go anywhere without it. And it's required on public land, of course, and most RV parks or wherever you might be staying. Along with that, always make sure that your dog has its tags. This is my memory box of my beloved late dogs and their tags, but always be sure that you have your tags on your dogs. And if they aren't wearing their rabies tag, be sure that you have it and your medical records ready to show if asked by any authorities or by an RV park, maybe where you're going to stay or something like that. And of course, you want to keep your dogs groomed. Especially if you do a lot of wintering over in the desert in the winter. It is crucial. And Bandit, he's going to get groomed at the end of this month. Unfortunately, they have to sedate him to be able to groom him, but he will get his hair cut. But I have to brush him every day, and it took me a few months to get him used to being groomed, and he still doesn't like it, but he lets me do that. So there you go. That was 3 things. The first thing is a leash and your poop bags. Second thing is to be sure that you have your tags and that they are wearing theirs. You can see Bandits here, and that you have the records available if possible. And third thing is grooming tools, whatever that might be for your dog. So let's talk a little bit about first aid things. There are 2 things that my vet that has always told me to keep on hand, and that's Benadryl capsules and Imodium AD. And be sure and check with your vet to see how much of that you give your dog. For Bandit, if he needs it, he gets a half capsule of each of those just once a day. And I don't give them to him, of course, unless he needs them. But because my senior dogs, they had been with me all their lives, and I could just open their mouths and give them their pills. But Bandit, I cannot. So the 4th thing is to be sure that you have your first aid stuff. And the 5th thing is, if your dog is like mine and you can't feed it to him, I buy these Greenies pill pockets, and they are the best invention ever. I buy the capsule size, they're the larger size, and I use only a half of one, and I put Bandit's little pill in that, and he takes it just like any treat. They have peanut butter, chicken, and beef, and I'm out of the beef right now, but I keep those on hand to be sure that I can give him his pills if and when necessary. And also, if they get bee stings and sometimes a thorn or a sticker, and they can have allergic reaction to those things, and thorn bushes as well. Cactuses, Bandits run into cactus and had that taken out. He didn't have an allergic reaction, but you want to be able to have those things on hand and be able to administer them if that happens. Also, upset tummies. All of us that travel with dogs know that it's no fun for our animals, for our little fur babies, or for us when they get an upset stomach. So you want to be able to have something on hand because you might be miles away from the nearest vet. And I'll give you a bonus tip in a moment. But number 5 is to have on hand some pumpkin, and make sure it's plain pumpkin, and rice. And if you can put a little bit of that, give them that. If they have an upset stomach, that really helps. But again, be sure that you check with your veterinarian. That is just things that my vet has told me over the years and that I have learned really works. Oh, and he is laying on his outdoor bed. I bypassed that. So that is number 6. Be sure that you have something for them to lay on outside, especially if you don't want them bringing in dirt and all of that all of the time into the rig. Plus, I think it helps them. He also has a little elevated bed, but at least this is just a cushiony bath mat, and it really helps. So number 7. If your dog has anxiety, whether from traveling or from storms or firecrackers or whatever, there are 2 things that I can recommend. There is this, it's by Bach, and it's Rescue Remedy, and it comes in, you'll find it on the shelves. It comes in a box like this, and but it's in a little dropper bottle. And I only have to give Bandit 1 or 2 drops, because and he just goes to la la land. But I haven't had to give this to him in months. It was when I first got him that he needed it. And the other one that I don't have on hand, because he, like I said, he doesn't need it, but that I can recommend, is ProSense calming tablets. And you can usually get those at any store, Walmart, or you can go to, oh, and let me back up and just say that they have these for dogs. Think they even sell them for cats, and you can find them in the pet section. But this is, you can get it much, much cheaper for just the humans. It's the same thing. You compare the ingredients, and there is absolutely no difference. But the ones for dogs and cats and everything, they're like 3 times the cost. So save yourself the money and get the one that's just off the shelf in your regular pharmacy for us humans. And that ProSense calming tablets can be found at any pet section, Walmart, pet stores, wherever you might be. So I think, let me see, what am I up to? Was that number 8? And along with first aid this is a jar of penicillin that I got when I was in Los Algodones. Be sure that you have something on hand for a salve for if they get a wound or something. There is also vetericin, I believe is how you say it. That is a great antibiotic spray gel, and it's a gel so it doesn't just run completely off the wound, and it's awesome, but I keep this on hand. So be sure that you have something. You can usually get that from your vet, or like I said, I got this in Los Algodones, and you can get the vetericin, I believe I'm saying it right, in offline somewhere. Number 10. Number 10 is, of course, you're going to want to keep something on hand to clean your dogs, to bathe them in, and I recommend anything that is oatmeal. It depends on what your coat your dog has, but I use oatmeal because I bathe Bandit often, and I don't want his skin drying out, because that's when they start getting eczema and they'll start scratching, and then they can get hot spots, and you don't want to cause that for them. And so I buy something with oatmeal. And sometimes people buy something with oatmeal and baking soda. I've never found that to be necessary. And then I also keep this on hand, and with Bandit, because he's so close to the ground and he loves to run, and he scoots and he stirs up all kinds of dust, I'm constantly cleaning his ears. I'll use this sometimes twice a day if we've been out playing fetch or something and he's gotten his ears pretty dirty. And they're just little, almost like alcohol little pads in there, but something to clean their ears in between baths. And like I said, Bandit, I have to use these on him almost every day. So number 11, everyone, regardless of what your pet is, size or a cat, you should be able to get, I use, my vet last gave me this Interceptor Plus, and it's chewable tablets. Bandit eats them like treats. And it takes care of, for him, it treats intestinal parasites, roundworms, hookworms, all kinds of worms, plus it prevents heartworm disease. And so they make them where it also has flea and tick in it, but I don't use that. But this heartworm disease, all it takes is one mosquito bite and your beloved pet can get heartworm. And so I keep up with this religiously. And be sure you get that from your vet. There is a lot of controversy over flea and tick treatments, and so I won't go into that here. I know that there is a popular flea collar that is a 6-month collar that is under a lot of scrutiny. I'm not saying I don't recommend that. You probably want to have some sort of flea and tick protection as well, but that is so varied. I just think that you do your own research, talk to your vet, and find out what you want to do for that. Okay, so number 12 might also be controversial, I guess I should say. But I believe that until you can teach your dog not to bark, or to at least, if they bark, to stop barking when you tell them to, that a collar, and this is not a shock collar, it is I use the beep or vibrate only, and it helps immensely. And because I have been camping with a lot of friends and everything, I am about to have to start using this on Bandit again for different things. But it's not, I never use the shock. I don't personally believe in that. Everybody's different. But for him, just the beep or the vibration helps, because the last thing that you want to do is get kicked out of an RV park or any kind of campground, or have your friends all upset with you because your dogs are constantly barking and disrupting everyone. And I have seen people that have been asked to leave campgrounds and RV parks. And when I worked at Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, we also had to ask people to leave sometimes. And what would happen is this, I'll give you an example. One couple would go to town and they would go on their tours and everything, and they left their dogs in their RV, and their dogs, just anytime anybody walked by, were just in the front windshield of the Class A and all over trying, to bark and get out after everybody and everything. And it was very disruptive to the campground, and we got so many complaints that we had to ask them to leave. So you absolutely want to be able to train your dog not to bark, and to stop when they do bark when you ask them to. So those are my 12 things. I want to know, what do you carry that you consider is an essential? And of course, we've got all the toys and the blankets and everything that we dote on our fur babies with. But what is an essential to you? Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments below. Bandit and I are going to go join Robert and my friend Joan for a walk, and we hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Make sure that you've rung that bell and clicked all, not just that you get some personalized notifications, but everything. And thanks for being on this channel with me, everyone, and thanks for being on this journey with Bandit and I. We'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.